company websites, cleaning and restoration, for example, they look polished, professional, and even impressive. And when you see them, those of your competition, you may think you're up against it. But here's the hard truth. Many of them aren't converting visitors into customers. Why is that? Because they could be missing the elements that actually build trust and drive action. So today we're diving into what separates a good-looking website from one that truly performs, because that's what you want. And with me today is a regular guest, John Clendenning, the founder of Carpet Cleaner Marketing Masters. John, good to see you as always.
Hey, Jeff. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. This is a fun topic
Mm.
because we're always taken in by, oh, it looks good.
Yeah.
That may not be the winning equation there. And with AI building stuff for us, we need to really think about this. John, tell us about this topic today. I can't imagine a cleaning and restoration company not having a website. Is that possible that they don't?
There is still the odd
Okay.
few that we find that don't have a website that link to a Facebook page or something like that, but very rare. But then you've got the mix of, is it something updated? Is it old? Is it, as I always say, babies lying on carpets and families and dogs sitting on couches? Or is it authentic and real? There's a whole bunch of, there's a whole thing to unpack. And then the other side of it is your website has two purposes. One, that whole SEO, AI SEO, can it be read by the bots around the internet, and does it know what you're all about,
Mhm.
and is it modern, right? That side of it, we talk about that. We'll talk about that again someday, because that's always changing. But the one thing that isn't changing is humans need to buy your stuff. And a great psychology, great ads, great marketing, as Robert Collier said, you're entering a conversation that's already going on in the customer's head. That's what marketing, that's what great articles, great advertising, great marketing does. So your website has a goal. Do you know what that goal is? If your goal is to cause people to start to know, like, and trust you more, well enough to pick up the phone and call or fill out a form, the layout of your website would be entirely different than if you think of it as just as a brochure to tell people about your business.
So not every website drives calls that lead to business. You've covered that a bit, but what are the
Yeah.
signs that you see, John, when you visit a website? It looks good, but signs that tell
Yeah.
you it's not going to convert, besides what you've already shared.
Yeah. Well, keyword stuffing at the top. If it's like, number one carpet cleaning service in, Wichita, Kansas, and that's the title of the page. Do you think that, for one, is everybody else saying that they're number two? Are you the only one that decides that you're number one? Or, are you giving them a proof element like a risk reversal guarantee? Hey, hire from our family to yours, hire us. And if there's anything you're not happy with, we'll reclean it, be back in one day to reclean it. Still not happy, you get your money back. Somebody goes to that website, they're making a purchasing decision. They go, these guys feel nice. Who are they? They scroll down. It's called a Donald Miller story brand. If we want to kind of know the way we get into people's heads, there's a bunch of different sort of psychology of websites and sound bites and things like that. But the very next thing somebody wants is they want trust, right? And then they'll scroll down. They'll stick on the page. They won't hit the back button. And then they'll scroll down. Well, who are these people? Show real faces, real, like the owners, why you got into the business. Tell that story. It makes a better door hanger in the real world. It makes a better website in the digital world. Tell them who you are and what you're all about, then what you do. And then you have a page for each one of those things that you do and stuff like that. And that becomes the tactical stuff. But you've brought them into your world and you've showed them real pictures and real stories of real happy customers, because that's really what people want.
So those trust triggers are the pictures of your technicians or the owners, the little stories about them,
Yeah.
kind of like sitting down and having a coffee and explaining what you do. Is that really what you're
Yeah.
talking about? Or is there more
Yeah,
to it?
proof beats promises, right? So you can promise this and that, but why can't you prove it on your website, right? Case studies and, hey, the last time I was cleaning for the local Mercedes dealership, I was talking to the general manager, George, and here's what we got into and blah, blah, blah. By the way, here's the pictures of that cleaning and stuff like that. And we were able to get these stains out. That is a far better, you know, a link from the homepage into a story about that would attract other businesses, and they'll stay longer on your website. learn more about you and kind of start feeling that connection. So just real human connection is something you need to think about. Well, we're in a world that everybody from GoDaddy to Wix will say, hey, press this one button, answer these three questions, and we'll build your entire website. They might build a pretty website, but do they really know how to attract your best customers?
That's a thing, isn't it? That's coming where you just push a button, you get a website, and I imagine it's easy to publish that site as well, and then you're in business.
Yeah,
That's
and
scary.
it is. It's almost as scary as the the overseas like the Fiverr.com and these different sites where you can hire somebody for 5, 10, $15 to build a website when an enterprise website is still thousands of dollars or more in psychology, content writing, testing, all of that kind of stuff. So there's a vast difference between pretty and performance, and even things like your phone number should be in the upper right corner because people's eyes kind of do that Z pattern still, so they scan. Oh, there's a phone number. Even if it's not there, your results on your website drop by as much as 50%.
Hmm.
Just simple little cues like that. That do we can we trust that the AI knows how to build an ideal, authentic website for a home service cleaning business or restoration business in the psychology of the consumer that's arriving there, right? Emergency consumer should go to an emergency landing page that speaks about the emergency environment. A research consumer should go to the like a homepage, so you should have those separated. And it's there's just a lot of thought into, do you want it to work or do you want it to be a brochure?
So, John, you've done all the work. You did not
Mhm.
push the button to create your website. You spent the money on you call it an enterprise website. It's been
Yeah.
tested. So, besides looking good in all those elements, what are the best call to actions that site should have? Because a call to action could be call us. Well, to me,
Yep.
that's, I don't know, that to me doesn't seem real powerful, but what are some good ones?
Yeah. So again, a lot of people also put a little thing on, get my newsletter. Who wants a newsletter from a carpet cleaner or a flood restoration company, right? But you can have sort of like what we like to do on a lot of our websites is have the ask the expert as the title of the form. Have a cleaning question, have something that's bugging you, message us right now. Start the conversation, right? If you're going to have a pop-up, hey, join our VIP club, get this gift certificate right now, $50 off any second service for first-time clients or whatever on your next visit, and be part of our VIP rewards, whatever. Now a reason for them to join as well. So you can have calls to action that are you tell stories about happy customers and then say, hey, it's your turn. Would you like to learn more? You can have free quotes. We always like to do a in-home quotation. Not only is it complimentary, we'll pay you for it. And we would give them a free spot remover gift set and a gift certificate off of their first cleaning, any second service, things like that. Minimum charges apply, but it would be a way for them to dip their toe in the water and go, I'll have you guys out as long as it's no hyper pressure or hard sale. And then you've got happy stories and reviews and testimonials about the fact that somebody held you out for the free quote and it wasn't high pressure. The information was left behind and they got a lot of education. So they have sort of that social proof that what you're asking them to do is an easy next step. You want to take the prospect and just give them that next little nugget, and just really get them into your world, and then you can email them regularly. You can stay in touch until they're ready to buy from you, which might not be this week. It might not even be this month, but they're in your world now and they're starting to see you show up around them as a brand entity.
So really what you're saying is you become their cleaning expert, restoration expert without maybe
Yeah.
even having them as a client because they're using what you're providing. They see you as who you are and you're
Yeah.
building trust. I like that. And then they'll buy
Yeah.
from you when it's time.
And not only does it work that way, AI is now the authenticity engine. Google's always wanted their whole search environment to be real, like real businesses show up to the front, not the ones that can hijack and game the system, black hat stuff. So even now, your Google Maps listing could be ranking number 2 today and 15 tomorrow, and because they're putting AI and saying, "Hey, are these guys actually really being engaged by real people, or are they trying to fake it?" And right now, it's a huge adjustment over the last couple months because they're really trying to have AI say, hey, is there really an intent here? Or, so that authenticity offline is now being added online. So we got to be real, like we should have been all the way through, but now we have to be.
I like that. And you can't control AI. You can't control Google. All of these things are out of your control. What you can control is yourself and your quality of work and how you treat your customers. That has to be on your website too.
Yeah, tell the story. Tell the
Yeah.
story everywhere you can.
John, any final words for those watching?
Um, no, just I guess the only final word would be take a really good hard look at your website, have others look at it, friends, family, and just say, hey, if you didn't know me, would this attract you, or is it just look like a brochure? And that's a good starting point.